Welcome back to Cask and Point. Today we are reviewing Binder's Stash. Now, Binder's Stash has an interesting history to say the least. Now, I won't go into too much detail, but I've heard a lot of rumors, most of which aren't particularly promising. Apparently, it started out by sourcing a few 14 and 15-year-old bourbon whiskeys that were hazmat, but they never actually hit shelves anywhere. They only hit secondary markets for an absolutely ridiculous $1,000 or even $2,000 price tag, and people think it was a really weird artificial way to build up hype, but I don't know, that was the start of Binders. Nowadays, they are like most pretty decent sourcing whiskey companies, like Rare Character here, like Mayor Pingree, where they source MGP whiskey, they source Heaven Hill, they source Wild Turkey, they source pretty much whatever they can get their hands on that's really good. They put it under their cool bottle. They always look like this kind of black looking bottle here where it says year, alcohol, proof. I mean, really, really formal, nice and sleek here. I really do like it. And now they are fine, I think. I don't really know. I will let others, if they want to go off on it in the comments, I'll leave that to them, but that's all I'll say for Binders. An interesting history to say the least. Now, today we are trying a new Era Bourbon Club pick that I am a part of. Lovely little tater sticker here, which I absolutely love. Or I guess it's not a tater sticker, I guess it's just a store pick sticker, but still really cool to have it. And this is an 8-year, 116 proof MGP whiskey. Now, this retailed at $140, so a pretty penny to pay for a nice bottle of whiskey that's 8-year MGP. But supposedly it's really good, so today we're gonna find out. Let's get right into it. On the nose, it's interesting. Now, this has been sitting here for about 45 minutes, and I've been constantly smelling it and essentially trying to figure out when it's ready. And it started off really hot, just hot caramel, and I couldn't really get anything else out of it. But now that it's sat for a little, definitely getting a lot more of, honestly, a wine-forward note here. Like, there's definitely some blackcurrant and red currant in this. A ton of blackberries and plums and really, like, jammy fruit in this. There's not a ton else going on, though. There's some rye spice in there, some oak, but not a ton of oak. Definitely a little bit of toastiness and creaminess, though, which is really nice. But it's going to be the dark fruit that's really dominating on this. Not really as much of like a berry note, but really like a jammy, like a strawberry jam, plum jam kind of thing going on here. Overall, it smells pretty good. So let's try it. It's interesting. So, definitely starts out with a really nice jam. That really good raspberry jam in there. And then it eases into some caramel, some oak. That's really nice. And definitely, hits that 116 proof. It's definitely not drinking lower proof than that. Definitely has enough flavor in there. That's really pleasant, actually. And I like how the flavor, starts off with this really interesting fruity flavor, then gives you the caramel and the oak and all that. I do know the people that did this pick, so I really trust their palate, and they knocked it out of the park with this Mayor Pingree. So, I know to trust their palate now. And this is very good. This is very, very good. Let's take a second sip here, see what else we get. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. It starts off with this jam, and that jam, a little bit of like blackberry is going to sit in your mouth for the whole time, and then it eases into caramel, to oak, into spice. Nothing particularly special or unique, but that beginning, that front palate that's jam is really nice, and definitely a lot of flavor on this. I really like this. I think this is a solid bottle. Am I sad that I don't have a backup of this? Not at all. Not at all. I think for $140, I'm pretty satisfied. I have one, but it's not a bottle I would have 6 of or 10 of or really hoard. But it is very, very good. And, I think it's, I don't know how this compares to other binders. This is my first binder, so hopefully we'll get to try some more binders here on the channel soon. But I know they're really similar to Rare Character, and I've had a lot of Rare Character. And I will say, definitely tastes MGP, definitely getting those fruity notes, that like really red fruit and dark fruit mixture there that I get on really good MGP products. This is definitely better than your standard 8-year MGP that's 116 proof, but it's not absolutely going to blow you away, and that's okay. But let's take this third sip here, and then we'll give it a rating. Yeah. It's not changing too much, actually. These sips have been very similar. Starts off with jam, raspberry jam, and then, you know, gets into like a really nice, sweet, decadent caramel, and then gives you some rice spice, some allspice, maybe a little bit of cinnamon at the end there. Like a finish that's really going to take you out, probably medium length finish here, which is good. I was worried this is going to be a short to medium finish at 116 proof. Definitely at least a medium finish, which is nice. But overall, it's a solid pour. It's not going to blow you away, but I think the fruit's nice. I think there's a lot of flavor. I don't think it's punching you in the face for that much flavor. So overall, this is pretty interesting. This is definitely opening my eyes a little bit to binders, but I'm not blown away, and I need to be blown away by a pour to really get into the weeds of a whiskey. So we'll see if that happens, but overall, this is a good pour. Not amazing, but definitely very, very good. I think today I'm sitting around an 8 here. I'm debating between probably a 7.8 and an 8.1. Definitely not higher than that, definitely not lower than that. I think I will actually take another sip here before we give it a rating, but it's solid. It's hitting weekly sipper level. I think it's a nice bottle. I'm really glad with the flavors, and that jam on it is really nice. Let's take another sip. Yeah. Over time, it's getting a little bit spicier, which is a little unfortunate. I was going to hope it was going to get much fruitier, but it's getting spicier and oakier. And there's actually a little bit of dry tannic oak on that sip, which is interesting, that I wasn't really getting in the beginning. So it's not getting better as you drink it more, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's solid. It's not great. I'm actually thinking of even lowering it, but I think today I'll rate this 7.8. I think on that last sip kind of killed me there. I did get a lot of dry oak that I wasn't really loving, and the jam dissipated a little bit, but overall still a solid bottle. I'm glad I have this. I'm gonna keep this, you know, and really excited to share it with people. But that's the review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something about binders, and I don't know if you want to learn more about binders, but I think they're good now. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know that much, so I don't want to share too much with you guys. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.